Hey, how are you guys doing? This is Cindy Eiler, and I'm here to talk about when you don't get what you want or when you don't see what you want. I was talking to a friend the other night, and I just want to give this example because maybe this is something that's happened to you, but it's all about what you're aligning with. That will be what you align with, whether you want what you're aligning with or not. So it's really important to realize where you're being in your thoughts, where you're being in your energy, where you're being in your life, the people around you, and the things you say, feel, or the things you do. So sometimes people go, why can't I see angels? Or why can't I see aliens? Or why can't I have this situation happen to me? Why does life seem hard when, I really want life to be easier? We all have these things that there is a gap between what we really want and what we're seeing or getting in our life. So what you want to work on is why there is a gap. Because if there's a gap, that's why you're not seeing it. You're doing something, you're feeling some way, you're speaking some way, you're living in some way that is not in alignment with your desire, okay? So I know when I say, why can't I see an angel or an alien? Maybe that's not your thing. Maybe it's like, why can't I get that car, or why can't I get that love of my life, or that job, or that money? We all have that thing that we want to get and seem to have a problem getting. Okay, some things that we can get really easily. I'm sure there's things in your life that you seem to get really easy. For me, I get a lot of free food, and lately a lot of free money. So when you recognize the things that come to you easily, they seem to come easier without you even trying. Why? Because you have a knowing. Because you just know that you always get this. I always get this situation. I don't know why, these things come to me all the time, but they do. And to me, it's funny because I'm never looking for it. But the things that come easy just come easy. So, but I'm just using this example of what I was talking to with my friend last night. So she was saying like she's interested in a certain race of aliens, okay? So, when we talk about aliens, there's a lot of great aliens that are really helpful, that are helping us to achieve our spiritual growth and all about ascension. So, in everything there is the light side and the dark side. So don't feel weird when I just say aliens. I'm just trying to be transparent and real with you about a conversation I was having. But some people go, I want to see Archangel Michael, and they're pissed because they feel like they can never see Archangel Michael. So it can be anything. And then she was saying, and so this race of aliens that she's interested in their thing is about love. They're all about love and teaching love and helping the universe have more love in it. They're very picky about their frequency. They teach their children. They only let loving people or loving aliens, whatever their race, be with the children. So everyone in their race, in their society, is vibrating at the highest level. And if somebody is falling short of that, they help that being to get over that and raise their frequency. So obviously this group of aliens, this race of aliens, are very high frequency. They're about the love frequency. So she's really feeling like an attraction to that, okay? And so she's wondering why she can't, see them or, get messages from them or feel more connected with them. So on the other hand, our lives are filled with many kinds of different aspects. She's really into animal activism, and it's horrible what animals go through with the way they're mistreated and the trauma and the shock that they go through. So that is a really much different vibration, right, than the love frequency. Very different vibrations. She's also interested in like, well, I'll just say witchcraft, but it's not like scary bad witchcraft. There's all kinds, just like I said, there's light and there's dark with everything. So, that is a completely different thing. That makes her feel really grounded and connected and feel like a goddess and feel so much more her earthly self. So we're talking about just 3 of these main aspects of her. Okay, so we all have a lot of aspects to ourselves, but we'll just talk about those 3, and you can see that all 3 of those aspects are all completely different. We're not judging one as better than the other. We're not thinking about it in terms of one being better than the other. It is what it is, okay? Because for every person, like I could say what I think those 3 things entail, but if she described it, it might be different. And if you described it, it might be different. So it's not a judgment if it's one's better than the other. It's just different frequencies, different vibrations, different focuses and different levels, okay? So if you have an alien race that's all about unconditional love and healing, that's going to be a really light, open, accepting, pleasurable, inviting energy, right? And if you're talking about abuse towards animals and killing animals needlessly and all the yucky stuff that goes along with that, that feels like heavy, and you might get something in the pit of your stomach, which is completely different from this love, higher frequency vibration, right? And even though, someone might be doing good for that, like wanting to, raise awareness and get people to understand so it can change for the better, it still has a lot of drama and trauma energy in it. And then the witchcraft stuff, I don't even know what that is for her because I haven't really talked about that aspect, but I know it's a positive aspect. It's probably more about, I'm not going to say what it is for her, but sometimes like paganism, like being connected to earth and celebrating earth and doing things like that could be that kind of thing. So that's different from the other 2. Again, I'm just trying to show you the differences. So if she is more involved, let's say with animal activist stuff, but she can't feel very connected to this alien race. And even though she's doing good work for it and working really hard at it, she can't feel connected to this alien race, and she feels a connection but is frustrated because she wants to know why she can't feel more connected to it. And I said those are completely 2 different vibrations. So you're not going to be able to connect to it very easily. I'm not going to say you can't, but you would want to move your energy into one that was more dominating of feeling open and loving and accepting and healing and light. And so if she could do the animal activism with that open, loving, and light energy, then she could have the best of both those worlds. But you can't be sick in the drama and be high in the light of love at the same time. I mean, you could, but one's going to take precedence over the other. And so you're going to relate more and get more of whatever you are dominating in your energy and your frequency. So she might hear more about this trauma of animals because she's really involved and passionate about that. So she might see a lot of, bad news articles or hear about things that are upsetting because she's just more involved in that, because she can see it, she can feel it, she probably even just taste it, that feeling when you're in the thick of it. So if she wanted to get more into being into the light, it would mean taking yourself and shifting that. So when you feel like you want to be more connected to something, look at what you are focusing on most, where dominantly your energy is, and it can be spread out into different things, but is it at the vibration, the energy level of the emotion, of the feeling that resonates with that thing that you want to see more in your life. You can't manifest lots of happy, kind people in your life. You can't manifest the love of your life when you're feeling angry and pissed off and noticing that all people are crap. Like if you want love, like if you wanted a guy or a girl, you know, your ultimate, but you walk around saying there's no good men or there's no good women left, what are your chances of getting a good one? Because you're saying you want it, but you're holding a low energy. If you wanted more money in your life, but all you do is walk around talking about how broke you are, or how, you know, people are keeping money for you, or that money is a bad thing, how likely is it that you're going to get more money? Probably not, because you're holding the energy of lack. So you can't let that in if you aren't lifting your energy up to meet it. So how do you meet these things? How do you shift it? You can do basic things like start with affirmations. And, you know, people, I think, don't take them so seriously. But when you really want to shift something, even if it's just you're in a bad mood, or you want to get something in your life, or you want to shift something in your life, even if you don't believe in affirmation, doing those are going to help you if you're consistent with it every day. Even if you don't believe it, if you're just saying it and imagining, that is already creating that. But you have to find ways to get out of your norm to get into the vibration of that thing that you want. And there's no way around it. If you're going to keep being the same person and not doing the work, and it takes the work. If you're not going to do the work, it's not most likely going to come. That's just the way it works. You've got to want it. How bad do you want it? Now, I know if you guys ever watched my video story that's on my website at cindyiler.com called, it's on the Manifesting Breakthroughs tab, and it tells my story. And I was in a completely different space 20, 30 years ago than I am now. I could never imagine back then, in all the struggle that I used to go through, because I was taught that growing up. That was what I knew, okay? I could never imagine the life that I have now, and the things that I have in my life, and the things I'm able to do in my life. But that all took doing the work. And once I realized that you could do the work and actually create a better life and get the things you wanted, like that's all I needed to hear. I didn't have to sit there and go, oh, I don't know if that works. Oh, I tried that. That's a bunch of BS. It doesn't work. Actually, that's not true. It does work. All I had to hear was that you could do it and how to do it, and I was on it. I was like, you know what? I was that desperate that I wanted better in my life. I didn't want to struggle anymore. Life was so hard. I was so tired of friggin' struggling all the time. It was terrible. And so once I heard that I could do it, I just jumped in, and I was like every morning getting up, taking a walk, doing my affirmations, working with my chakras, learning more about intuition, learning about how to work with my angels, how to manifest, all those things. And I just stayed the course. I just stayed on top of myself every day. I never stopped. And I have never stopped. I'm still doing it because you're always learning and you're always, perfecting that. You're getting better and better. So it's not something you start and then stop. In fact, if you stop, then you stop the momentum. So it's a practice. It's a way of life. You have to learn how to do this as a way of life and just stick with it and let your life show you that it's true and that it works. So you got to do the work. And how much is it worth it to you? For me, it was completely worth it. And I have seen angels, and I have seen lots of things, and I do connect with angels and aliens and what have you. I can connect on all of those levels because I actually, that's one of my gifts, is helping people to learn about energy. I'm all about the energy, and be able to know how to connect in with their higher self, with God, with angels, with, even deceased loved ones. I mean, that I do my best not to get involved with that anymore, but I mean, definitely I can connect on all those levels because I have learned how to do that. And I think it's very important if you want to learn how to hear your angels and communicate with your angels, or learn how to communicate better with God or Jesus or whatever. It's important to understand energy and how to do that, because you could be communicating with things that you don't want to really be communicating with, and that's a whole different story. So to me, it's really important when I teach my light activation healing classes or whatever, when I'm on leading my spiritual journeys and I'm teaching people about energy, because I teach about it in all of my teachings, because I want them to understand energy and be able to connect in and be able to connect to these things if they want the specific attention and direction and insight that you can get from working with these beings of light. So you've got to know, sometimes it takes working with somebody so you can refine yourself, so you know how to do it better yourself. And that's why I offer services of all kinds, whether it's a video e-course or webinars or one-on-one help with all kinds of things, from people have all kinds of problems, and I just help people with their problems basically and help them get what they want. It just depends on what's going on in somebody's life. I love helping people that are ready to take a leap of faith, that are in a turning point, a breaking point, some transition point for transformation. That's my thing. I love helping people transform. So if you want something in your life, you really have to relate to it. You have to be speaking on the level of it. You have to be believing that it can be, a good thing and part of your life. It takes the work. So I have a Manifesting Breakthroughs video e-course that really helps you do that. If you're interested, just look on my website. But it takes doing the work and being consistent every day, and you can totally change your life. And it's actually not that hard. It really isn't. Once you just understand how to do it, that's the hardest thing. Is if you don't really know how to do it and you try to do it yourself and you haven't gotten it yet, then that's hard. If you've never gotten it and you don't know how do you know you're doing it right? So the answer to that is, if you're not getting it, then you probably don't know how to do it. So go get the help so you can do it, okay? It's so much easier to go get help from somebody who knows how to do it, so you can take that shortcut and then get to it and get what you want. But if you're going to keep trying to do it yourself and struggle through it and not get it and be frustrated about it, you got to realize sometimes you just need help. I mean, that's like with anything. Say you wanted to, go on a workout thing and build up your muscles, but you never lifted a weight, you don't know anything about it, but you're going to go do it yourself. How likely are you going to do a very good job at that? Wouldn't it be easier to go get a trainer for like 2 months so they can show you a routine and then check in with that trainer every so often just to keep you on track? And it works with anything. You can't know what you don't know. And sometimes you just need to seek out the help. And even if that means paying money to do it, believe me, it's worth it. So I want to read just a quick little thing in this book. Be the best you can. How much of your potential have you reached? Think about what has held you back and be honest about it, because sometimes people aren't honest, okay? For most of us, it's fear. Fear of failure, fear of the unknown, sometimes even of success. Confront that fear. Your potential will open to you. So that's a really good little clip there. And then here's a little quote to go with that. All that you achieve and all that you fail to achieve is the direct result of your thoughts. James Allen. There you go. In a nutshell, all that you achieve And all that you fail to achieve is the direct result of your thoughts. Bing! Okay, can we hear some angels choir sing for that? Yes. Okay, so take it to heart. If you need the help, get the help. If you know what to do, do it. Get busy. How worth it is it to you? It's not that hard. It's like, how bad do you want it? If you really want it, then get off your butt and do it. I mean, really, do you want to just keep suffering through it? Do you want to keep just being what it is? And what I want to say last is, if you keep being the same way that you've always been, then you will keep getting things the way you always have. The only way you'll ever get anything different is if you become different. And it doesn't mean changing who you are. It means learning how to do it. It means changing the way you think, the way you talk, the people that you might be around. What if you're around people that are just negative and so you're negative with them? That's so easy to do. Realize who you're around and how you are allowing certain energy to be in your space and how it's either helping you or hindering you. All right? Okay, you guys, just wanted to pop on here, give you a little video, and let's see, how many days today is May 4th. In about 12 days, I'm heading to Bimini to lead a spiritual journey in the Bahamas. If anybody feels the nudge, wants to experience something so magical, so fun, so purifying and healing, and work with me one-on-one, think about coming with me to Bimini. There's a few spaces left. I'm keeping it super small, the group, so we can have the best experience. And just go to my website, cindyiler.com. It's in the description below, and look under Travel Bimini, and there are the details there, and you can send me a message if you have any questions. All right, thanks for listening, you guys. I appreciate it. I see some of your comments popping up, but they leave really fast, and I'm in the middle of saying something, so I'm not ignoring you. Hello, hello. Thank you for everybody who's here commenting. Give me a thumbs up, share the video if you can, and I appreciate you very much. Lots of love. Peace. Peace out. Talk to you later.